SEO show at number 8 already. We're now into March. We've got another great lineup for you through March. And before we get going, let's go over to Henrik and learn where all the emergency exits are, etc. Henrik.
Yep. Hello, everybody, and welcome. We will just make a little check. Can everybody hear us, and can everybody see us out there? So give me a 1 if you can hear. Give me a 2 if you can see. All be super. I think we are okay, Tony. So.
Yep. Okay, then. Well, today is the day when everything and nothing happened. Or so it seems so far, unless we're just waiting for America to catch up before anything significant happens, because today is the day that Moz had announced their update to the DA metrics. So we thought, what better day to talk about metrics than today on this significant day? Or is it? Because I've been going around looking at all of the metrics for all of our sites, and I'm not really noticing anything changing yet. It'd be interesting if anybody out there is listening at the moment and they have seen changes. It'd be great to know what those changes are, whether they're good, whether they're bad, whether they know why. But anyway, never mind. We'll carry on watching after the show, and hopefully before the end of the day, something will move somewhere. But of course, when metrics change, we have to question what really are the metrics all about. You know, it's one of those questions that I often sort of think about. You know, we're looking at metrics, and it's okay saying, oh, this site has got a DA of 29 and a page authority of 32 or whatever. What does it actually mean? It's sort of one of them things that, in a way, it doesn't mean much of anything. I mean, Moz clearly have identified that their rankings were out of step with Google. I'm almost certain that Google won't go looking at Moz to find out whether your domain has got any value or not. So in a way, it's a completely sort of standalone metric, and I think what we're suggesting is the only thing you can use it for is really as an indicator. It's a benchmark. It's sort of, you can use it to compare your site. Is it continuously going up in the DA, or sorry, DA? I keep saying DA, and I've not explained what that is. The two metrics we're talking about just at the moment, the Moz metrics, are DA, which is domain authority, and PA, which is page authority. As far as I'm aware, they assign page authority based on all sorts of things: inbound, outbound links, on-page SEO, so on and so forth. There's all sorts of factors that they bring into that equation. And then the DA is sort of an aggregate figure of all the combinations of all the PAs of the whole site in its entirety. So that's generally speaking, the page authority of the home page will always be the highest authority page, generally speaking, not always, but mostly. And the DA will usually be slightly lower than the home page, but slightly higher than most other inner pages. So, okay. So what do we use these DA and MA? Like I say, one of the things that I use them for is when I'm looking for age domains. Again, it's a good metric. Again, it doesn't necessarily mean anything, but you've got to pin your sort of hat on something, and so it is a metric that's an indicator, shall we say. So I do tend to look at those if I'm buying age domains. I always try and get definitely over 15, which is pretty low, but I mean, I just wouldn't consider going below 15. And then the other thing we look at for is, like I've already said, is on our own sites. If we're comparing what it was like last month to what it's like this month and what it'll be like next month, we look at the domain authority and say, is it going up? Is it going down? Are we getting things right? Are we doing things wrong? And then the one other thing that Henrik and I have spoken about this morning is the fact that it's also very useful when you're doing your research in the early stages. You might type a keyword into Google, and if you've got the Moz bar loaded in the extensions on Google Chrome, when you do a search, it comes up with the domain authority and backlinks, etc., for all results on a search. So if you were selling home, fruit delivered to your home in London, and you did the search fruit delivered to your home in London, and you look at the results, ignore the first one or two that are directory sites, find the third one, it will come up. I think actually Henrik might be showing you an example in a minute anyway, and you'll see, you'll see that, oh, okay, that third one, it's a normal site, it's a site just like mine, it's got a domain authority of 16 or 18 or whatever. That's achievable. I can probably manage to pick that one off. So it's a good sort of benchmark for using in that situation as well. So before I go rambling off and losing my way and missing the point completely, should we just, Henrik, do you want to come in on at that point and mention anything?
Let's maybe try to establish again the domain authority is actually based upon the link profiles that Moz has in the database. So they look at all those sites backlink or inbound links, and what they have done this time, they haven't changed the PA, but the DA is on a larger database scale, and they have put a couple of new factors into the DA algorithm, and those is what they call a span score and link quality patterns. So that's what the new DA consists of. And as you said, Tony, it's a benchmark which you can use as a benchmark towards your competitors. So if you go in and look at your competitors and look at their DA and look at your own DA, it won't be static because you will make changes. New inbound links will come to your site, or new inbound links will come to your competitor sites. So you might see a differentiation within that framework. But if you have a better DA score than your competitors, then you're more likely to rank than your competitors. So that's just some of the things that you can use the DA score for.
Okay, that's good.
Which actually says that you can rank a page with a DA of 35 if your competitors has a DA of 20.
Yeah, and that usually does work if you're using the Moz the Moz toolbar in Chrome and you look down. It generally does work out that way, doesn't it? That you do see the DA 26, 23, and it does generally diminish as you get further down the page. It's not strictly that way because of course Google aren't ranking based on that, and of course there are other metrics impacting on a ranking factor, but generally speaking it does bear some relationship to the position in Google. So it's definitely worthwhile as a metric for that. We've got to see how the new one stacks up, of course. According to Moz, the reason they've changed it is they're making it better. So, but Henrik, I mean, do you want to quantify this by sort of mentioning politely how Google view Moz metrics?
Well, they view them as a fancy buzz jargon, and this. I think it was Gary Iles that mentioned that it was something that this frisking guy had invented and making a good business out of. But that's, I think that's Google loves Google, and when you're going to rank, and in the groups that we are involved in, we're using a lot of Google properties, and those Google properties we use for ranking our money sites and things like that. And what actually when we look at the metrics, we maybe don't care so much what Moz is saying, as long as we assure that we are pumping some link juice through our Google properties up to our money site, and in that way passes the link juice as we like, and achieve results in the rankings.
Yeah, and I think that's right also, because you've got when you first set up, everybody says, oh, get a Blogger account because it's just pumped up with value right from the word go. But of course, when you set up a new Blogger account and you look at it, according to Moz, it's got a PADA of 2.1. So basically, it's not been checked. It's got nothing. That's the starting point. Of course, then what you do is you fire some backlinks at it. You power up that asset, and suddenly it will jump, won't it, right up to, well, whatever, 45 or wherever. So again, you know, it depends. That's obviously when Moz become aware of it, and the way they become aware of it is because of the backlinks. If you haven't got backlinks going into your site, in fact, we had this with one of our other sites, one of our local sites, where it sat at a DAPA of 2.1, the basic starting point. It sat there for months and months and months, and yet it was getting a lot of visitors from Google. It was turning up page 1 search results all over the place, and so it's clearly ranking. Google obviously gave it some authority, but Moz was just saying it's a non-starter. Then as soon as we linked it up to an IFTTT network, you know, to the social media sites, Twitter, Facebook, etc., literally within a few days, the DA and PA started climbing up, because obviously we was firing out whenever a blog post went out, it was getting pushed out to the network. That was creating backlinks, and Moz was picking up those backlinks and then attributing authority because of that. So again, this sort of shows that you've got to take it with a pinch of salt, because it's so easy to manipulate, isn't it? If we could just fire a few social media bookmarks at a site and get the Moz to jump from, you know, like 1 or 2 up to sort of 45 or something, then you know that there's something slightly unstable about the metrics. But anyway, there we go. I think we've labeled that point. It is a metric, but don't take it seriously. Don't pin your value on it. A lot of PBN people will block. They'll use the robots.txt or the htaccess file to block bots from crawling. And one PBN network that I know of in particular, they use the blockers to stop Moz coming in particular, so that they don't apply any DAPA to the site, because they want to keep the high metrics, and in the belief that by keeping hold of those high metrics, you keep in hold of high authority. But yeah, it's a bit of a crazy game. Just use it as a benchmark, and then you're probably not going to go too far wrong. If you start seeing your DA going down, or if you want to start seeing it going up, one of the other tools that you really probably ought to be turning to then is like the one we talked about a couple of weeks ago, where we had Carl Roof on the show, which was Page Optimizer Pro. I mean, again, that would be a brilliant tool to run on a site, and then that would be a metric which you would want to look at, because if you've popped your site and you've done all the tweaks that Page Optimizer Pro tells you to do, then you should see over the next few days or a couple of weeks or so your domain authority or your page authority increasing. That would be, well, definitely your page authority, I should say. That would be an expected result from using that tool. And if you haven't already tried Page Optimizer Pro, don't forget, somewhere on our channel page there will be some free credits to it. Henrik, back to you.
Yeah, Tony, I have just pulled a little example, so I'll share my screen here. And what I've done is I made a search for mortgage broker in Miami, and I have I think I need to show my screen here. Just have to ask, can everybody see my screen share now out there?
Yeah, I had a message saying that you were presenting to everyone. So
okay, good.
Yeah.
So what I've done is I've searched for mortgage broker in Miami, Florida. As you can see, the first 4 spots are ads, and then we have the 3-pack. And then if you look at the first result, and the Moz bar is showing that number 1 has a PA of 50. It has 21 links and a DA of 94. Spot number 2 has a PA of 36, 7 links and a DA of 66. And then spot number 3 has a PA of 25 and a DA of 18. And the next one coming up has a DA of 91 and a PA of 42. So the DA in itself doesn't tell actually that it's a Google ranking factor as such, because in theory, all those with a DA 91 should rank above that one of a DA of 18. Don't you agree out there?
Absolutely.
So what we can use this domain authority and this page authority to is actually just go in and look at, this is something called landingbankers.com. The other one above that is directory sites, and they will normally rank better than a lower ranking site. And find whatever competitors you have. And one way to do that is if you put your search in quotation marks here and search again, then you would see maybe there will be different sites here where you can pick your competition from. And when you look through it, you will have to compare your sites towards these sites, but it doesn't really make sense in terms of the mortgage broker here. So
I think it's because it's a primary keyword that you've chosen there.
Yeah. But in theory, what you can do when you put your search into quotation mark, then you will normally find a total set of search results, and there you will be able to pick your competitors from, and those are the ones that you should compare against when you're comparing the PA and DA. Won't you agree, Tom?
Yeah, definitely. And like I just said there, with that search, because that's a primary term, then those directory sites will perceivably be ranking definitely for those key phrases. But if you're on a longer tail keyword, then the directory sites will rank purely because of their power, their age, their authority. So they tend to get a ranking attributed to any keyword that's related to the primary keyword searches, whereas the normal sites that come up below them are getting ranked because of the keyword that you're searching for in most cases. So that's sort of why you get a different one if you're searching for the exact term as opposed to a broader match keyword, I guess. Well, it is, yeah. It is.
Normally, a directory will be based upon their what you could call silo structure, which is more powerful maybe than a lower site, which might also have a good silo structure, but won't have the amount of pages and keywords in general. So they will outrank them on the numbers rather than on the quality, maybe.
Yeah, it's like in the old days when no matter what you search for, you get the top result would be, get this from eBay, get sugar from eBay, get TVs from eBay, get diabetes from eBay. It was literally whatever you typed in there, it would be get it from eBay, no matter what disease or illness or whatever it was. It's quite funny, really. But that's why, because obviously eBay was just this massive powerhouse and it would just rank for any term irrespective. But there we go. So that's the thing. Over time, you'll get used to looking down a list of your page one. You really want to make page one of Google your home, because as we've covered before, there's so many things on there that it does tell you, so many things that you should be using in your own work. So beyond the domain authority and the backlinks, but definitely, if you haven't got one of them tools, it's just really useful. It's free. You do need to sign up for a free, what do they call it? A Moz community account, or they used to call it that. You need to sign up for one of them. They are free, but once you connect that up, to the Moz bar, then you will, even if you visit one of your own sites or any competitor's site directly. It's not just in Google searches. I mean, if you went to, I don't know, if you went to eBay now, along the top there, you've got your Moz bar showing up, and it would tell you the domain authority and page authority for every site, every page that you visit. So it's quite a useful thing to have, really. Henrik, do you want to talk about?
Yeah, let's show the little tool which is called Authority Checker. The Authority Checker, you can actually throw in up to 50 URL, no, even more URLs than 50. And what it does, it will go and check your authority. So here I'm just taking a site. It will check. It will go to the Moz API, and it will check and will come back, and it will give a statement of what the PA and DA is. So you can see here there's a PA of 5 and a DA of 5. And you can see here in brackets, there was a 1 on the 30th of October and a 2 on the domain authority. So actually, this has gone up. And if you look at the history tab here, you'll be able to go in and look at the charts. So you have a DA chart here where you can see that it is climbing up. And the same if you go to the PA chart, you'll be able to look at the development of the PA for that particular website. And you can do that for several URL. And you can actually what you can do, you can actually save your searches. So it will go in and it will give you a history. So you can pick it up and you can requery it again, and then you will always be able to check what the development is on your particularly ranking.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons I use these tools as well is because, say, if you do a press release, you can just drop your links from the press release into here, get the page authority of all the press releases that you've got, and you can see which ones you want to fire some juice at if you want to get some backlinks coming through. And on a similar sort of vein, if you've got a load of bookmarks or social media links, social media posts out there, drop them into there, find out what the DA and PI are. You could sort of see if it's going through your IFTT network, you could see whether any of those assets were not sort of getting powered up as they should, and you can just give them a bit of TLC and get them boosted up a bit. Yeah. So it's quite a good, again, it's a good metric. Don't dismiss it out of hand just because of all the things we've said about it. Don't dismiss it. It sort of is an important metric, but it's not something you can trust. It's not something you should hang your hat on by any stretch of the imagination. It's a benchmark. And if anybody wanted to find out more about the DA and PA, did you have that that white paper?
Yeah, just a second here, because I think I made a little mistake here because I locked you on your screen, so they didn't see what I showed. So I'll just go over it quickly here. So you can see here's the search I was speaking about, the mortgage broker. And what you could see down here is the DA of 94, DA of 60, DA of 18, and DA again of 91. And if we talked about the authority checker, you could just detect.
I think Henrik's just been invaded by the Daleks.
Yeah. So what I did was I made a search in what you call authority checker, and there the first search was, or the last search was 30th of October. It was a 1, and the domain authority was a 2, and now it has risen to 5. And if you go to the historic results, you can see the DA, which is actually increasing. And if you go down and look at the PA, you can see it's increasing as well. So it's on an words toward a higher DA and will increase over time due to whatever has been done to it. So what we will do, we will post a link where you can go and get this little tool. And I think anything else you want to?
Right, that's it. Sorry. No, I think that sort of covers it. There are other tools out there, of course, and it's always difficult to find the right one exactly for you. It was funny today. I was just checking one, and I realised that it was giving me exactly the same metrics every month for the last 3 months. So, you just again don't always believe what you get shown by tools. You know, they're just as liable to fault as we are. But anyway. That's it. I think, yep, the metrics are a valuable asset to us in SEO. They're good for domain. They're good to make sure your domains are going in the right way. They're good when you're buying age domains. They're good for checking your competition. They're good for all sorts of things, but they are also essentially meaningless in any other context. So don't just think because I've got a page authority and a domain authority of 30 or whatever that you're automatically going to rank, because unfortunately Google don't use those stats. They've got their own thinking going on, and that's changing every day. So is there any questions out there at all, or?
Sorry, I was muted because of the noise from the neighbor here. I don't see any questions out there regarding domain authority, page authorities.
So while we're just quickly giving people a chance to type a question if they do want to, I'm just going to very quickly tell you about the next 2 weeks' shows. We've got a couple of stars lined up for you, a star-studded cast yet again, a great march ahead. We've got the return of Ted. Well, it's not really the return, but it's he postponed. We had a postponement, was it last week or the week before? He'll be coming back next week to talk about Cora, and that is going to be a show that nobody wants to miss because the guy is just incredible. He'll teach you so many things about SEO. Yeah, definitely don't miss that show, or definitely don't miss the replay anyway. That's next week on the 12th at the same time, same place. And on the 19th, we have got a guest coming in from a product that actually optimizes your site around entities. And entities are a big thing at the moment. They're the buzz term. They're the SEO's best friend at the moment after schema. So, well, in fact, as part of schema possibly. So again, don't miss that one. That's on the 19th. That'll be definitely worth a look in. Will it be the 19th? Yes, it will be the 19th. Yeah, so on the 12th it's Ted, and on the 19th we're talking about entities. So I look forward to seeing you all there, and over to you, Henrik, for the last words.
Yeah, hopefully you like the show, so if you could hit the subscribe button and get updates on what we have on the agenda in the future, that will shoot as well. If you have any comments, questions, please post them in the comment section below the video, and we will try to answer them as soon as we can when we see them, when we go in here regularly and look at the videos and comments and try to comment on them. As I said, we will post a link to the little authority checker, which you can use when you're buying H domains. And what else have we down the line, Tony? We have
the white paper to post.
Yeah, we had the white paper to post. I will drop that link here in just a second. It's a white paper describing the new things that Moz has done in terms of changing the algorithm and things like that, and it's a good read. And also we shouldn't forget we will come up with a little show a little bit down the road regarding schema as well, Tony. So.
Oh yes, of course, that's another important one, isn't it? So there's lots to look forward to, lots of amazing topics. It gets better by the week, and so we look forward to seeing you all next week.
Okay. Thank you for this time. See you on the next show. Bye-bye.